Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very exciting tour. It's a 2022 Mazda CX-9 Signature. I've been driving this car for a week as a mom with 2 young kids, and I'm excited to share my thoughts. If this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the car mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of 2 and a certified child passenger safety tech. All right, let's dive into this 22 Mazda CX-9 Signature. Starting with the front end, I think it's a little controversial. Overall, I like the body style. The only negative thing I'm going to say about the body style is I think this looks like Sid the Sloth. I just, for some reason, can't unsee it. Like, you know how cars just sometimes look like things? That's what I get. It's like the eyes are like on the side of its head, like the headlights. Do you kind of see what I'm talking about? I don't know. I think just the front end is a little weird looking for me. I do really like how large the hood is. I think it looks really good, but I think what's interesting about this car is if you look at the exterior dimensions, this car seems a lot longer than what it is because of how long the hood is. So when we get into the interior and you see some of the spacing, I think you'll be surprised to see how compact it is compared to some of the other mid-size SUVs out there. Moving on to the rest of the front end though, I think this Mazda logo is absolutely stunning. I do like all the chrome here and the chrome on the bottom. I think that just kind of lifts everything up. Moving along to our side profile, I think it's really sleek. I actually do really like the body style, especially from the side. We have some 20-inch wheels right there, some really nice big fenders, belt lines that go across, and then great chrome around the windows and on the roof rail in the Signature Edition. Even a little bit of chrome down here looks really, really nice. And then moving along to her back, and we start with some wraparound taillights, this chrome bar here, little Mazda badging. The back to me kind of looks like an Acura MDX kind of vibe. I think the back end actually looks pretty high end. Overall, I like the exterior. I think it's sporty. That's kind of what Mazda is. But what I'm most excited about is to dive into this interior and show you the bang for the buck that you're getting in this Mazda CX-9. All right, here's a shot of me in the Mazda CX-9, and we're gonna start by talking about some of my driver's amenity features. We'll start with the door panel and just kind of break down how this thing is designed. I think it looks great. This is some of the prettiest wood trim I've ever seen in a vehicle, and I think it really feels high end. I like this really dark brown leather, a little bit of chrome right here and some flat black. We have the Bose sound system, and then we have some great side cubbies that fit an iced latte, with still some room for like napkins, a wallet, whatever else. One thing I really liked, I love having a manual way to pop your trunk from right here, and I love how easy this is to locate. And then these are some of your other parking assistance features. So you can quickly turn things off, on and on, like your parking sensors, like your lane keep assist, and you can even quickly pull up your cameras if you needed to do that. So I love having all of these features right here. Let me get you on the other side and we'll talk about some more of the features. Let's break down some more of the technology features in this Mazda CX-9 because for the price point, I'm so impressed with the features that I get. In the Signature, I have heads-up display. That is amazing. Heads-up display displays information on the windshield so I don't take my eyes off the road, but I can see who's calling, I can see how fast I'm going, I can see the directions if I had my navigation installed. I love that. The display is super simple, nothing's digital. Which I'm okay with because I get the heads-up display and some other of the convenience features. So even though I like a digital display, I feel like I'm getting other things besides that, so I'm okay with it. Steering wheel looks nice, some great chrome right here. I think the Mazda logo's darling. I actually really like it. We have our Bluetooth controls here and then our automated cruise control there. A little bit of a sporty looking chrome right here, right above our vents looks great. Heated steering wheel, heated seats and ventilated seats in the Signature with a little side cubby right here. Standard shifter. Gonna be honest, would love to have this take up less room and have a little bit more cubby spaces, but that's okay. Auto hold, we love to see auto hold. If you don't know how auto hold works, when you hit the button and then you take your foot off the brake, it will hold the brake in place, and then you can like take your foot off the brake, you can relax for a second, maybe put a binky in a baby's mouth, and then all you have to do to release that is put your foot back on the gas. So I love to see those kind of fun features. Right here we have our what would you call this? Our toggle and our volume button. What's crazy about the Mazda CX-9 is it is not a touchscreen. You have to use this toggle. They claim it's for safety, and I read that it was a touchscreen when you were in park, but I'm in park right now and it's not working for me, so I don't know where that rumor came from. Unless like I'm missing something, but it's not working for me. So you have to use this toggle. I would prefer a touchscreen. They say this is for safety. I don't really think this is safer. Like I think it's definitely something you would get used to. I've been using it for about a week and I do think I've gotten a lot faster at it. I'd prefer a touchscreen. That's just my personal preferences. But again, like even though I don't have a digital dash, I don't have a touchscreen, like I said, I love that I still get the ventilated seats and the heads-up display and the auto hold and the different driving modes. I just don't have some of those other features. So it does kind of seem like they maybe emphasize technology over like the fun convenience features of like what a touchscreen would be. Okay. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. So it has been getting quicker to use. I do think the volume button is in a super weird spot like that. It just takes so much getting used to. And then we dive into 2 cup holders. Now, you know me, I'm nothing if not obnoxious. So this is a 40-ounce reduced water bottle, and it fits. So does my Starbucks venti, 10 out of 10. Then we move into our tiny little center console. Not the biggest, especially for the size of the car, but it does come with 2 USB chargers in there. And again, I'm really just like liking this brown leather. Let's get you out and let's take a look at the close-up of the seats, shall we? Okay, I'm really impressed with the comfort and the design of these seats on the Signature trim. This is one of the prettiest browns I've ever seen because it's a very gray toned brown. So it's different than black, but not like a saddle brown or not a chocolate brown. Like it's somewhere in between. I haven't really seen this color much, so I actually love it. I think the quilted leather looks great. The perforated leather is fun. It really has a lot of nice contours to make you feel comfortable in the seat. So overall, I think like from a driver's perspective, the car's been very comfortable. It's driven well. It's been quiet. Now let's get to the second and third row, talk about the car seat setup, talk about some of those passenger amenities, and then let's check out the trunk space. All right, here's a shot of me in this 2022 Mazda CX-9. I have this driver's seat set for myself. I'm about 6 feet tall. So really great knee clearance in this second row. Now the second row is on track, so this is me all as far back as I can go. I can obviously move it forward to accommodate, but even still pulled up, I'm still feeling pretty comfortable. My head clearance is actually really impressive in this car. I'm not hitting the ceiling at all, even when I stand up completely straight. Also really excited to see some built-in sunshades into the car. I think that's awesome. Simple door panel and then a little bit of a cubby space right here as well. We also are met with some kind of like a little double leather back pocket, which I think is actually a nice touch just to kind of keep things a little bit more organized. I think that's just kind of fun and different. No ceiling vents, which is kind of a bummer. We do have 2 vents on the back of the center console with their own climate control. I'm really impressed that in this CX-9 Signature with the captain's chairs, you actually have like a center console. So granted, you kind of lose your third row access, but I'll talk about the third row access in a second. But this is an amazing center console. 2 cup holders, heated seats, a center console with 2 chargers. This is a bigger center console than the one in the front row. That is amazing. And more. Nothing gets me excited like a cubby space. Like for older children to be back here between like the double leather back pockets, that compartment, this, the side cubbies, like you would have all the room for all the things for a road trip. Just because my kids haven't been utilizing it because they're so much younger, like older children, I'm obsessed. Okay, sorry random, but I just came here to like adjust the seat to show you kind of the spacing. These are darling. That is so fun. I love the bright chrome on that. Like I'm having so much fun seeing the brands play with what they do on here. Like if you remember the BMW iX, they had a rose gold. Another version of the iX, they had like a diamond. This is fun. Let's do more material. That's such a fun little way to introduce something. Okay, so let's break down the car seat setup in this Mazda CX-9. So when you have the captain chairs like I do, you have lower anchors in both seats with tether anchors. In the third row, we have no lower anchors and only 1 tether anchor in the outboard passenger seat. Remember, this is only a 6-passenger car because the third row only has 2 seats, and with the captain chairs, we obviously only have 2 seats as well. I have a Collect Flow car seat installed rear facing. I have the seat in front of it set for myself at about 6 feet tall to give you an idea of the clearance. So I think the SUV is a good size. I've definitely been in tighter with my children. I'm a tall driver, I have big car seats, so it works well for rear-facing seats and tall drivers. I do think that. Let's go on the other side now and let's talk about how we get to the third row and then let's check out that third row. Okay, so what's a little confusing about the CX-9 is when you have the bench seat, the third row access is a little bit different. The bench seat, last time I did a tour, I did a 2020 bench seat and it had a car seat tilt. Now I have the captain's chairs, I have no car seat tilts, but they've also put a console in between me, so I can't really access the third row as easily as I was hoping. However, one thing I do like is since these seats are on tracks, you really can move this seat very far forward, and then I would say like a child could slither back to the third row. So if you think about it, if you had a forward-facing car seat, a booster seat, an infant base installed with the lower anchors, obviously not the seat belt, you could probably access the third row with a certain type of car seat here. So just something to note. If you need more room, obviously you just push this forward and then you have some access. Okay, this is where things get sticky for me in my lifestyle. Okay, first of all, as you can see, like it's a little bit of a raised floorboard, so I definitely have a slight like knees to my chest sensation. I am excited about the cup holders and chargers back here. I'm so disappointed about the fact I don't have any vents. No vents here, no vents here. I don't even see vents on the floor. So like ventilation in the third row, 0 out of 10. All I have is what's right there. And imagine if you had the bench seat and you had people here. So not great third row ventilation. For like as much love and support as they gave the second row, I'm feeling a little slided now that I'm in the third row. Let's push the seat back and kind of get an idea of my clearance. Okay, so that's not all the way back, but I feel like it's kind of like splitting between the second row and the third row. And I actually feel pretty good about my knee clearance. I really appreciate that there's only 2 seats back here because I feel like that's so much more realistic. And then like you have 2 people who are buckled safely. I was a little disappointed to see no lower anchors back here. Again, the tether anchor is here on this seat. But headrests are a little difficult because they're not really removable. And I think it'd be really hard to get I mean, I guess you could do it, but it would be hard to get the tether through there. So I was kind of hoping for a little bit better headrest situation in the third row. I'm going to say, I mean, the third row doesn't seem horrible for car seats because this bench is pretty deep. I just feel like it's kind of missing some of the easier features that I was expecting to have in this car. So my head clearance is still good though. So I mean, it's not the worst third row I've ever sat in by any means. I just don't know if to me it's like my everyday kind of third row with how difficult the access is, with how I don't have ventilation back here. I think it's more of like a every once in a while kind of thing for me. I would not like want to ride back here all the time. And then getting out of the third row, you would just lift this up and push it forward. So not my favorite because I also feel like that could be hard for children to lift that up sometimes, but I'm picky like that. All right, trunk space. We have a power tailgate. We literally love to see it. And then with the third row up, here's the trunk space that we're dealing with. Not horrible, to be honest. 12-volt battery right there. And then a little bit of extra storage here as well. So that's pretty decent. Let's see if we can fit a stroller here. We can't. I would say you could fit some strollers back here, but this Upper Baby Vista is not going to be the one to do it with the third row up. But let's maybe put this third row down and then kind of take a look at some of our trunk space. So really easy to do. I love that. You know what? The more I do these, the less I care about power ones. Like that's so easy. It lays nice and flat. And then we have some really, really great cargo space back here. I like these little side areas too as kind of a way to hold things. A few little tie downs right here also to keep things organized. I think that looks really great. Can put the stroller in there now. I mean, we came all this way with it. So as you can see, pretty decent sized trunk with the third row up. I would say that the Mazda CX-9 as a car is on the smaller side for the midsize SUV category. So it's similar in size to the Sorento, the Highlander, cars like that, much smaller than Jeep Grand Cherokee L, Atlas, Traverse kind of thing. So just something to note, like in the scale of midsize SUVs, she's slightly on the smaller end. We love our power tailgate. And that wraps my Mazda CX-9 signature tour. Let me know what you guys thought of the car in the comments below. I'm actually pretty impressed. I think it's a good car for its value. I think it drives nice. I think it operates well. And I think for some families, it could be the absolute perfect car. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time.